I need a motion to approve that. Ron, Ilsa, are there any questions? All in favor? Thank you. Now we have a summer school recap from Liz York.
Welcome us. Come on. So we're gonna do a little group presentation for you. Because Liz put this together, and Liz was an integral part of making sure our summer programs ran. It was awesome. Thank you. So Liz ran the summer programs. We also had our ESY for our 812 for Tiffany's class, which was amazing and shared with you. So Melissa Picarello is going to share with you about that. Tiffany wasn't able to be here tonight, but she did also share a little bit. And so I will turn it over to them and tell us all about it. We'll start with Tiffany's class, I think, is first. You know, down is up and up is down. Okay. There you go.
All right, here we go. So Tiffany worked alongside Mara and Katie Rodriguez, and she wrote a cute little blurb. It says the ESY program is a 6-week program where we focus on students' individual goals, academics, routines, and social skills. The slideshow that you're going to see illustrates the most prominent methods we use to work on these skills. The ESY program was rewarding for not only students, but also staff. Within this time, there were new friendships built, bonds created, and memories made. It is absolutely amazing to see the success of these students and the progress that they have demonstrated in such a short period of time. There were moments of growth present in each day. During these 6 weeks, all of the small successes we celebrated transformed into big wins. I cannot wait to continue this journey with the students and be able to grow alongside them. Katie Rodriguez, Mara Smith, and I worked the program as a team this summer. Katie stated, I feel so fortunate to have been able to get to know these incredible kids and learn so much from my time with them. Mara stated, I am so grateful I had the opportunity to be a part of the ESY program. Getting to know the students and seeing their personalities and progress throughout the summer made it such fun and rewarding experience. Thank you for all your time, and I look forward to a great year. But then the team and I wanted to add on that they also began integrating a sensory path. So we started one upstairs where the new classroom is going to be. We're working on the downstairs, as well as incorporating building and grounds, because they made sure the kids had the opportunity to move the classroom upstairs, and they were able to get themselves regulated and transition for the upcoming school year. So the last week at ESY, they were able to do their entire program upstairs. Some of the hands-on learning. This is going throughout play, working on language skills, communication skills, social skills, collaboration, gross motor and fine motor, and regulating and building relationships. Each week, students followed a recipe to bake something. In addition to life skills, they incorporated math by following measurements and reading comprehension, listening skills by following step by step, and students ate their creation and also received the recipe afterwards to share.
I also want to add that they ended with Summerween, which was amazing. You want to talk a little bit about Summerween?
So Summerween, every kid had a little piece of at least a costume. Some of the adults wore costumes, and we set up on elementary wing from the main office to the special ed room. We set up where adults actually trick-or-treated with them. So they got to come down. Laura put music up, and it was a really fun experience for them. They were very excited, and we were very excited.
And thank you to all of the staff members who came out. The invitation went out to everyone. They came down. I mean, Karen was down. I know Stacy came out from the main office. And you could see we were getting pictures. We will share them with you. It was adorable. What were you dressed up as? You were Moana.
I was Moana.
Laura was Moana, and Lindsay was a
Reindeer.
inflatable reindeer. So we will definitely share those with you because it was a sight to be seen. So
We also had bumblebees, witches, superheroes, firefighters. So the kids, had personalized costumes as well. it was just fun to see them and have them participate and be spooked by going into the different doors. We put little ghosts on each door so they knew which door to enter, and then someone would pop out and give them candy, which was just a great experience for them.
All right, so now we're going to move on to some of the older grades, a little bit older. I supervise the Summer Spark program, which we're about to hear about, the Titan Voyager program, and the high school and junior high credit recovery. So the Summer Spark was for incoming third graders. Victoria Zidell and Michelle Davey headed up that program, and Martine Dennis also worked with them. It was for students entering the third grade. They specifically focused on their reading skills. They worked on decoding strategies. They focused on segmenting and forming sounds. They had a goal of being able to read their instructional texts on their own. They had varying degrees of success in that goal. So some students were able to complete that goal and some needed support still at the end, but they all had some level of success. And they had a really good time. They were able to take time every morning to have like imaginative play. They didn't have to go right into learning. They had some summer fun too. And they did a really nice job of making those students feel supported while helping them to build a solid foundation for entering into the third grade. All right, the Titan Voyager, headed by Brianna
Academy.
Gil Frishia, Allison Stark, and Sophia Goodacre, got those last two. We took the Titan Voyager, the bus, and went to 4 different camps throughout the year. We went to Hillsdale, Ancrum, Quebec, and Water Park. We did each one each week, and they had a theme for each week when they went that was a STEM topic. So they had nature, insects, the ocean, natural disasters, collisions, and aviation. They would start with a lesson on the bus where they either had some reading that they did or video that they watched, and they all learn the material together. And they would have a hands-on activity where they would then create an experiment that they would do together. And then a lot of times they'd go out into their natural surroundings and they'd either observe what was there as part of their topic, or they would actually get those supplies and they go back to create different projects and experiments. Yeah, so they tied in the activities to the curriculum that the students will follow while they're in school, so they can also be building a solid foundation for the upcoming school years, also having a lot of fun doing it. Then we have our Summer Bridges students. So for our incoming 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, we also had 2 incoming 7th graders who needed to get some credit recovery as part of this program. The other students entering 8th and 9th were building foundations for their upcoming year. So they were learning skills that were going to help them to be successful in the upcoming school year. The way this program was structured, we had periods throughout the day, I think it was like 40 to 45-minute periods. They had a science class, math class, social studies, ELA, and I let them end the day with PE so that they didn't have to, go home and be all jittery like they're all day. We gave them some outlets. Our ELA teacher and our social studies teacher did a project together with the students where they worked on understanding civilizations and societies and how they, the history of how they developed. And they were able to come up with and design their own civilizations and have their own different ways they wanted to interact with the other civilizations. They combined that with social studies and ELA, and they ended up creating dioramas together, which you can get great photos of, so that's the best dioramas the background on. We also work on their math skills to prepare them for next year. It's definitely something that we are focusing on as a district, and we've seen our students are struggling with that, so we really work to make sure that these students entering into the middle and high school grades are having that solid foundation of, here are the math skills you're going to need to work on to be able to understand algebra, pre-algebra, or whatever's coming next for them. Their science teacher was really into hands-on activities. They ended their whole summer with an egg drop competition where they had to dirty ball every time they've seen it. You go to the highest point you're allowed to go to as a student to drop your eggs there from captain and try to prove that you had the safest one. Most of them broke, but they had a lot of fun doing it. And that let them test and understand the scientific methods. So they had to understand the experiment, create a hypothesis, and then test it and then write about it. We did have one student, unfortunately, that did not find success in this program. She was not able to attend as much as she needed to, and unfortunately, because it's such a short, condensed amount of time that we're putting this only one student got a grade that wouldn't have been passing. So it's that one year if we were going to. And our credit recovery. We had an amazing staff that I kind of just mentioned. Emery Slater was in our credit recovery Apex room. Cassie Turner was our science teacher. Grayson Denby was our social studies teacher. Diana Nelson was our English teacher. Sarah Kenzone was our math teacher. Tom Russo did PE. Randy Barnes was our special support. And Nick Burke was our guidance counselor. These teachers did an incredible job helping these students make it through 6 weeks of summer school, and the last thing they wanted to do was make it through 6 weeks of summer school. So I give them a lot of credit for the successes that were found in this program. So credit recovery and reading review this year, we had, again, it was structured with the periods, 40 to 45 minutes, they were in the classes. Some were doubled up, like algebra, again, it's a subject we were really working on improving. They had a double period, and they also had reading review in the afternoon for that. See how successful that was when we get our students support, I guess. But they did really connect with the math teacher, and they did do a lot of work. So we also had the APEX program, which is something that we introduced last year during the school year. That was really, really beneficial for some students, and some students weren't able to use it as well as they could use. One of the great things about it was that there was a pre-test option for students who were going into this program, and they were tested on whatever was going to be in that unit. So algebra unit 1 was a pre-test. That were the things that we know you're not being retaught, you're not spending your time relearning it because you haven't finite amount of time to complete this. And so you're able to skip past that and go into that unit you need to learn because you already have that foundation. So that was very motivating for our students. The APEX was not asynchronous. I know that it is an option to be asynchronous, but we had our teachers fully supporting. Each subject teacher had one period in the APEX room that they were available to support kids with any research they needed to do, any questions, reading their assignments. And then some students actually had their APEX classes in the classroom with the teacher because they needed a little bit more support for that. And so it is really beneficial. I have some feedback on the later side, but I think that overall we look at the program for our kids to be able to utilize. So it's the online credit recovery. So the whole unit, the whole subject, the whole thing is online, and then you go unit by unit, and you'll do the work, you'll turn it in, and either the APEX program grade it or go to the teacher grade it. The assignments can either come from selected, like pre-selected from, I think it's
So yeah, it's one of our cluster programs that Jeff brought to us last year, or in the spring rather. And the idea is to help recover credit. So if I failed my quarter 1, the teacher can go in and pick the curriculum from quarter 1 in APEX, and I could go to credit recovery and get help, do it again to earn a passing grade, so I don't fail for the entire year. So I'm getting remediation, and also picking up with what's going on in class.
And it's really great because they do have the opportunity as a teacher to go and select the topics and the assignments that are going to make the most sense and align with what that student needs in the country.
Instead of having them repeat the entire thing and then have to at the same time do another grade level's work, this sort of reinforces things but also expedites the process so they can get the credit.
Thank you. We had 23 students that we invited. We had 22 attend. Again, one had excessive absences and was not able to complete the program. And we did have one student removed from the program for plagiarism, but we were able to apologize. And this through to use Aristotle to monitor that while they're on the tech program. So if you saw someone doing research they shouldn't do, you talk to them and say, hey, that's not how you would actually use this program. Here's the resources you use. And unfortunately, this student cut and paste all their answers, and this is not the intent of the program. But yeah, overall, it was very successful. So some program feedback. What went well? Again, our teachers were amazing all throughout the entire level. I mean, I didn't work directly with them much in her group. I did stuff out of classroom. The teachers were so enthusiastic, so wonderful, and they were able to engage with the students. They thought they were being on their feet. They made accommodations daily as things would come in. A lot going on. A lot of the students that ended up in summer school, especially in junior high school, they have a lot going on at home. Like carries over to their classrooms. It's kind of why I'm here, and the teachers were able to really meet them as individuals and support them through that while getting them All the departments working together is amazing. Food services, building ground, instructional, admin, IT, office staff, transportation, and guidance. It was really great to see how everybody worked together to make a successful program. Again, I think this using the effectively testing was so motivational to the kids, and so beneficial. So I think that was something that was really positive for that program. And a lot of students found success in the courses they needed for credit recovery. I don't think that they're testing much quite as well as we would have hoped, but the grades that they earned, they did get credit. I have to look back at all of it, but I think almost all of our students got for like, the ones engaged in the program got the credit that they were earning first. Some things for improvement, I think pre-program communication around the expectations to be improved. Things shift every summer and people come back from last summer and go, I got it all lined up at the end of summer, I know what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna change and shift. And so just having that awareness for the future and everybody that's coming in, so this is what we want the program to look like this year. Because whatever you throw at the teachers, they're gonna do a great job of it as long as they have the resources. Some positions remain unfilled, trying to find motivation to get people to want to work in somewhere and come and join what is an actual great program. I'm just happy to be here and happy to be a part of it. So I'm going to give this one more people know that it is a good experience and hopefully get to fill out next year. I think being a little bit more intentional with the assignments for Apex will make it even more meaningful because, like I said, you can individualize it. I think as the teachers learn more about what that looks like and are able to utilize it, it's going to be a really great program. And the supervision needs to be worked on, but we started a conversation with IT about the computers that they're using, what they're actually allowed to do and how that's going to work, so that they're using the right resources and not even being trying to computers, to like chat our computer. So, and absenteeism is always an issue, and when we figure out that, we'll tell everybody in the rest of the country. That's something to report. So thank you to everyone.
With a little
Thank
bit
you.
more to go with this though, because we just want to share, thank you so much, Liz and Melissa. We just want to share some of those Regents results, and this links to really ultimately what Marcy and I shared about at our last board meeting, so.
So I'm gonna share our Regents results. They were not what we would have hoped. But I wanna say that that cannot be the measure of the success of the summer program, right? We can't undo a year's worth of learning or struggling in 6 weeks. But what we did was inspire students, engage students. There was this invigoration that could be felt through the building, right? It was palpable. The teachers were excited and the students were coming. It did not yield the results on regions that we would have liked, but it did shift, and we know where we are and where we need to be. So let's talk about it, because it is where we are at this moment and not where we will be hopefully next year. So in the summer regions, 34 students sat for the algebra regions, 4 students passed, 2 students sat for algebra 2. Unfortunately, none of those students passed. And geometry, 1 student sat for that summer regions and for the August regions, and 0 passed. That leaves us with an overall passing rate of 10.8% for math. So only 4 students out of the 34 students who tested on any of those 3 exams passed. For science, we have some celebrations. While 29 students sat and only 10 students passed, for the earth and space science, 15 students sat and 9 students passed, with 60% of our students passing. And we need to celebrate our wins wherever we find them and celebrate our students for showing up every day and giving their best effort in that moment. And earth and space science had the highest passing rate shown of all of those regions taken this summer.
And also,
Yeah.
from coworkers, they said this earth and space was harder than the one that the kids sat for. So that is very
Very, Marcy, yes, absolutely. Just to continue with that thought that Sam just made, our BOCES group of superintendents, because of the concerns with the earth and space science regents in June across all the districts, we did
collectively with Questar write a letter to the commissioner with details about the concerns for our students, and not just not passing it, and where our teachers felt there were concerns, they did meet with Matt Fuller about that to get more details, but also because, as we know, we want to celebrate our wins, but also when students work really hard all year and then don't do well on the regions, it takes something out of them a little bit. It's inflating, and really that was the biggest concern and focus was on creating an exam that is truly aligned to the new curriculum and about what is taught in that classroom. So we did advocate for that, and I think that's important to note as well. Thanks.
For our social studies exam, global history, 12 students sat, 1 student passed. And US history, we had 10 students pass, and sit and 2 students pass, with an overall passing rate of 13.6% for those 2 exams. And ELA, we had 1 student sit. Unfortunately, that 1 student did not pass that exam. But we thought it was important to share with you and be very transparent with you in where we are in this moment. And our goal is that next year, when I stand before you, we will have growth. We know we have a mountain to climb, and that doesn't happen overnight. It happens step by step, inch by inch. And I think we have the right team, we have the excitement, we know where we're going, we have our North Star, and the teachers are excited, the students are willing to put the work in. That's what they showed us this summer. They showed up every day except for the 1 or 2, right? They showed up, they engaged, they did their best, they gave us their all, and some of it is not within their control, like the questions that are there. There's a reason we are shifting to a portrait of a graduate, right? There is a reason that New York is also recognizing that we need multiple pathways for students to display their success other than sitting for an exam. So this is a moment in time. I do not look at it as a definition of who we are, our students, our teachers. This is just who we were and where we were in that moment on that day. And next year when we stand before you, we will have more celebrations because we have systems in place for the year. We have interventions in place. They've restructured the master schedule. We have plans to be able to offer summer Saturday academies if we need and interventions, and we're going to be monitoring students much more closely and strategically along the way and shifting and pivoting. We have coaching coming on for our teachers to help them with instructional practices. The instructional practices are what teachers teach students. And so we have to invest in our teachers and building their capacity to do so and supporting them and find out where they're having barriers and how we can support them. And so, yeah.
The students need to pass, if they pass the class degree, if they still have to pass the degrees to get graduate from ninth grade.
Yes.
And even at the portrait of the graduate, when that keeps on, they still have to do treatment, right? In order to graduate high school. Even with the portrait of the graduate.
For now, they do. This, our senior cohort right now are still under these same requirements for this coming year, and they're slowly transitioning. I believe it's the class that will graduate in 2029 that will then have more options beyond just Canadians.
Yeah, I attended a session last week, and we still just are waiting for New York State guidance on when we can start making those shifts. They haven't given like the hard direct date yet.
But to go along with what Ms. Haywood said, we are being proactive and moving ahead with that. Ms. Haywood and Ms. D'Amico and Ms. D'Elia have already put together some professional development. They'll be working with the content coordinators to focus on project-based learning and giving teachers the opportunity to learn about that, create them, so that our students are getting more opportunities to demonstrate their proficiency in different courses. So,
And
yeah.
some of the students, I saw like algebra and then like biology. So are some of the students taking like both readings and tests? So it might not be as many, so it could be like a student that has to take over 2 readings. Right?
Correct.
Yeah,
A student could be counted in more than one assessment. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, a student might have had to take 2 regions on the same day. And, you know, we know that this is not always the fairest assessment to help our students graduate. There are safeties in place. There are, low pass rates that we can implement. They can appeal. We have other methods. But this is where, you know, we have to tell the truth and start where we start. And this is it. It's the beginning, not the end. And it just lets us know where we have to work. We're gonna keep looking at that data. Karen's already starting to, as that information gets released, Karen is digging in. She's disaggregating that data, looking at the questions so that when we sit down and we have our PLTs, we really can look at where do we need to focus and how are our students learning? Why are we having success in one place and giving opportunities for teachers to collaborate across content areas to talk about students differently and see how we can support them.
And Portrait of a Graduate from the State is still in phase 1, which is installation, which is building capacity for those upcoming requirements. Regardless, though, this work that we're doing isn't just about students being able to perform better on a Regents exam. It's about a whole learning experience and the instruction, and we have a lot of great instruction, but it's giving teachers the opportunity to collaborate more, to talk about what's working, what's not working, what's something they feel confident in. That's part of losing that isolation that can typically happen, and creating a culture where we're talking about best practices all the time. I hope that helps explain that a little bit more.
Are we done the curriculum? I know this was.
This was just summer, but yeah.
How your peek at that was.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lynette, the superintendent's report?
All right, well, really what I have for you in the last couple weeks, we've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes. Everybody has been so busy, and I thank everybody for being here tonight and for their patience, because it's been a long couple of weeks with finishing our title grants, getting ready for the school year, finishing up letters and copying and distributing laptops and finishing out master schedules and answering parent phone calls. And on top of all of that, maneuvering around all of the capital project that has been moving along really well, thanks to our construction manager and also Nick, always overseeing everything. And if we were doing a wellness walking check, we'd be winning so far this summer. But these are pictures of the taking care of the terrazzo. This is in front of the PAC Center, and what's wonderful is that will be ready for the start of the year. It looks really great, I think. And as Nick also explained, this will be being completed during the year when we have some extended breaks or longer weekends. And one of the pieces was making sure that those Taconic Hill symbols that were at the front of each entryway are designed with this new product so that we can have that there. Our daycare is really exciting to go in there and see what is happening. It does get me choked up because when I first got here, this had been a topic, I think, for at least a year, right, Rick?
It's been a while.
If not longer. So you can see the areas fenced in for the playground, which is a requirement. The tiling in the bathrooms has happened, the mural. They also brought in yesterday some giraffe wallpaper, which is for the 12 to 18 month rooms. So we're really on track with this moving forward. And this is our field in progress. As Nick had mentioned last time, we still have to put the rest of the track down and it needs time to cure, but this looks really fabulous. If you haven't had a chance to see it in real time. And the roof has moved along really, really well. There's a couple issues that have come up or things that they've found as they've moved along, but that Nick has been working closely with them as well as the general contractor manager, construction manager, sorry, to make sure that we are resolving everything from gutters to pitches, all of those things, to make sure it looks great. And if you came back, I think you can see in the bottom left picture what the roof looked like, and it didn't look bad, but now that you see the new roofing on it, it really is so much more finished and polished, and you can definitely see that it did need to be redone. Okay, the fields used for athletics are ready. Nick, did they use the mining, that machine that we have for that? Yeah. Just wanted to share that each year we've had a theme over the last 3 years for the school year. A couple of years ago, it was about raising the bar, thinking about level of excellence. Last year, we talked about staying charged and staying curious and how important that is for adults and our students in learning. And this year, we're really going to focus on small habits and the big impact that they can have. You each have, as board members at your seat tonight, the gift that our teachers will, and all staff will be receiving, just a 1-minute hourglass timer, because sometimes you just need 1 minute to just pause and take a breath, whether it's some frustration you're feeling, a deadline that's causing anxiety, or not even being sure how to reach a child in the right way for them. And that 1 minute really is longer than we realize it is, and can often provide us that pause that we really need to move forward in a positive way. A shower steamer, because that always makes you feel good when you get refreshed at the end of the day. A simple fidget. We know that our younger students, well, all of our students love having them, and we as adults tend to have them too. Some of us even have baskets of fidgets in our office for anybody that comes in. So we purchased a variety of them, and you'll get what you get. And then also a hydration drink mix packet, because it is important that we drink water throughout the day. I know I still remember what it was like to have to be in your classroom all day, but it's still important to drink water and stay fit. We will be handing these out on the first day, Tuesday, September 1st. We'll be in the PAC area. We have breakfast for all of our staff, and we'll be handing these out, greeting everybody and welcoming them back. And if any of you are able to be there with us, we'd love to have you join us. That'll be 7:40 to 8 a.m. And then if you do want to stay for any of the introductions, please feel free to do that. We'd love to have you. On September 2nd, along with this theme of being available and responsive to ourselves and one another in our professional environment, we'll be ending the day on the second day with a keynote speaker about positive habits to live a productive life. So if anybody is around from 12:30 to 2 and you don't have anything better to do, I can guarantee you this is an engaging, entertaining presentation that will leave you uplifted as we start the school year. We have many new staff to welcome. We have been fortunate this year to hire some wonderfully qualified, eager, excited teachers and additional staff. They come with exuberance. Some of them have experience in other districts, and we're excited to have them here. These teachers also participated in our new teacher orientation, which was yesterday and today. And I do want to thank everyone that was involved in that, because every cabinet member, clerical, other staff members made this a worthwhile time for them, took time to present and also create the two-day agenda together. So thank you, Marcy, for leading that. Other information we wanted to share with you, our pre-K and kindergarten orientation coming up. Thank you to Alexis for making a flyer that grabs people's attention. I know last year, we felt we wanted to make it a much more visible celebration of our younger students coming to school. This week, I met with Josh Piper, our new athletic director. We were talking about how our teams are this year, and he has reached out for girls modified soccer and girls modified field hockey, which is for our 7th, 8th, and some of our 9th graders. And they only needed like 4 to 6 people to have a strong team so that we can continue these 2 programs. So after he had done his part, I went into Alexis and said, can we get that, like, we can do it for, simple and like promote these girls. And I know I put like a little corny thing together, but Alexis created this for us, just to advocate for our girls and being engaged in sports. So just a great opportunity for them, especially at Modified, to build relationships and learn some skills and maybe find out that there is something else they're interested in. So we hope we can achieve that goal. And then just upcoming at a glance, we talked about our opening days. And then everyone comes back bright and early on Tuesday, September 8th for our first day of school. Our pre-K and our K orientations will be on that day, and then those students will start their day, full day officially on Wednesday, September 9th. Our upcoming board meeting, and then our open house from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, September 17th. Are there any questions for me or any questions from Nick, since he has been really thank you also, Nick, for taking photos along the way continually. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lynette. We'll move on to Board of Education member activity reports or ex officio member reports. How's your summer? Welcome. Anybody have anything they want to report?
Oh, I attended the, would that help me out? What was that?
Oh, the Title I
Yeah.
funding.
Opportunities, yes, which was very well.
Good, thank you. All right, let's move on to new business. Under item A, we have a bid from RM Dalrymple for $38,695 for the automatic tank gauge for the school. Was that a budgeted expense? So, we need a motion to approve that. Joe, Ron? Any discussion? All in favor? We have item B, under contracts, approval of the following contracts for the coming school year. We have a contract with Columbia Opportunities to provide universal pre-K program support, $20,000 for that. And Columbia County Department of Social Services and Mental Health Association of Columbia Green Counties for school-based prevention services, $36,360 for that. Need a motion to approve? Ilsa, Jean, any discussion? Questions? All in favor? Thank you. Item C is a course modification approval. The superintendent recommends to the board to approve the following course modification for CTE Health Services Sciences, it's a 0.25 credit, and they've modified the name. Lynette, you want to speak to that a little bit?
Well, I'll let Mary and Darby speak to it more so because they were the ones putting together the master schedule. But it overall is about the opportunity to provide more exposure at the mid level.
Yeah, these are middle school mandates. It's required that these students take these. So it is exposure to CTE, career technical education, and we have what we call the CTE wheel, where each quarter it's a pass or fail course. and each quarter the student learns about something different. And one of the areas that we can cover is health sciences. So Amy Moore has agreed to do that, and what it does is it's going to actually be Amy Moore is going to teach it, and Gabby Matson, the school counselor, will come in at times because it is teaching students about all of the different types of jobs that exist under the umbrella of health services. So it'd be what we had in our course catalog, the student success really just didn't align. So we wanted to make sure we had it right.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I need a motion to approve. Bill, Jean, any questions? All in favor? We have item B, amendment to the superintendent's employment contract that was attached. This is to extend the appointment and employment of Lynette Brunger, superintendent of schools, to June 30th, 2030. Approves the addendum to her employment contract dated August 18th, 2026, and authorize the payment of monies provided therein. If you recall, the amendment included some changes to her contract to allow her some flexibility in her workday. It included a $2,500 one-time bonus and the extension of her contract. So I need a motion to approve. Sam, Bill, any questions? All in favor? Item E is library book disposal, approval of the disposal of outdated and damaged library books. I need a motion. Sam? Looking for hands. Janine? Oh, Molly, I'll let you wait next time. Any questions? All in favor?
When is it outdated for further than like 1 to anymore? Exactly outdated.
They're older than us.
That's ancient scrolls.
Some of them, he also checks circulation, and if there are books that kids aren't really using anymore, or taking out, just getting rid of them and getting other things that they have a higher interest in.
Yeah.
We voted on that, right? Yes. Okay. Item F is the code of conduct. We heard a presentation on that before the meeting, so I need a motion to approve that. Sam, Joe, any questions? All in favor? We also heard a presentation for item G, the district-wide safety plan. We want to approve the safety plan for the 26-27 fiscal year. I need a motion to say that. Molly, Ron, all in favor? Thank you. Item H is an MOA with the Taconic Hills Middle Management Association, recognizing the middle management group as a representative for the title of Human Resource Manager employed by the district for the purpose of collective bargaining. Any questions on that? Need a motion? Sam, Jean, all in favor? Item I is an agreement with Chatham Central Schools, to approve the agreement dated August 25th, 26, allowing Chatham Central School District to provide special education services and programming to eligible Taconic Hills resident students for the 26-27 school year. Need a motion to approve. Ilsa, Sam, any questions? I know.
Okay,
It's cheaper than going home.
there you go.
All in favor?
Great minds think alike.
It's just hope she doesn't bring her button glass.
Oh, my goodness, no.
Approval of the school meal rates. Superintendent recommends to the Board of Education to establish school meal rates for the 26-27 fiscal year as follows. It's up there on the board. It's a very lengthy chart. think everybody's had a chance to read the notes from Kyle. Do we have a motion to approve? Bill, Ron, are there any questions? Ilsa, go ahead.
Do we not, if kids can't pay, do we not do them?
No, we have, free of charge breakfast and lunch for every student, every single student in our district. They still need to select prices for items. If students want anything that is considered a snack, like ice cream or, chips or something like that, that is not part of the free of charge program. And we also have it for, if students want seconds of something, some of the meals they like to get seconds of, they do have to pay for the additional serving. And then also just making rates for adults as well.
I just have a question. Kyle said we're still waiting on NYSID, so this could change again.
Just
I
the
think
adult
just the
meal, wasn't
adult one,
Okay.
yeah. We should be good.
it? Any other questions? We have a motion and a second, all in favor? Thank you. The acceptance of the personnel agenda. So let me read through what we're going to approve, and we can do everything all at once. Feel free to ask questions as I get to each item. We have an amendment of extracurricular activity advisors. The amendment is for Logan Savage to be on in the junior, senior high school at a stipend of $2,500. Item C is the establishing of teacher assistant positions. We're looking to add 2 teaching assistant positions effective September 1st. D is the establishment of human resources manager position. Lynette, do you want to speak to that a little bit?
That is a position that we currently have Eileen Olson in, but her civil service title is Secretary 1. Her responsibilities have expanded since she has taken on that position, and they fit more so with the human resources manager title. This is a reflection of the work that she does. The salary remains the same. Is there anything else you would want to add?
No.
Okay.
We have had discussions with civil service about this specific title for the last couple of years, so it really needed to.
Okay. I need a motion to approve that.
It's all
Joe, Dean,
It's all in all.
oh, I'm sorry. Item E is the abolishment of Secretary 1 position. That we're abolishing Secretary 1 position effective August 26th. Item F is the resignation of a special ed teacher. We're being asked to accept the resignation of Michelle Moore effective September 18th, 2026. We have a resignation of a teacher aide. Kayla Banker is resigning effective August 31st, 2026. We have a resignation of a Secretary 1. That would be Eileen Olson, pending her appointment as Human Resources Manager. We have an annual appointment of Junior Senior High PBIS Coordinator, and that is Liza Hawken, who will be the Positive Behavior Intervention and Supports Coordinator for the Junior Senior High School, effective September 1st through June 30th, 2027, at a stipend of $2,296. Item J is a term appointment of an elementary art teacher. We're going to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to appoint Celinda Deary to a 1-year term appointment as an elementary art teacher at an annual salary of $75,002. And item K, a probationary appointment of teaching assistant to appoint Lindsay Smith to a 4-year probationary appointment as a teaching assistant commencing September 1st and ending June 30th, 2030, at a rate of $24.99 per hour. We have item L, probationary appointment of a teacher aide. We're going to appoint Christine Warka to the probationary position of teacher aide effective September 1st, 2026 through August 31st, 2026 at a pay rate of $20.36 an hour, 7 hours a day, 10 months a year. We have a probationary appointment of a human resources manager, as Lynette just spoke about, for Eileen Olson, again with no change in salary. We have item N, probationary appointment of 10-month clerk typist to appoint Ryan Oakley to clerk typist, having taken and passed the civil service exam for a 52-week probationary period effective September 1st, 2026 through August 31st, 2027 at a pay rate of $20.36 an hour, 8 hours a day, 10 months a year. We have a probationary appointment of a teaching assistant to appoint Kayla Banker to a 4-year probationary appointment as a teaching assistant commencing September 1st, 2026, ending June 30th, 2030 at a rate of $24.99 an hour, contingent upon compliance with the requirements of the education law. Item P, we have a permanent appointment of Secretary 1 to appoint Aaron Brady, having successfully completed a 52-week probationary period effective September 1st, 2026, subject to the rules of the Columbia County Civil Service Commission. Item Q is a permanent appointment of teacher aides to appoint Aaron Storm as a teacher aide, having successfully completed a 52-week probationary period effective September 2nd, 2026. We have item R, permanent appointment of a bus attendant to permanently appoint Kathleen Mayhew as a bus attendant, having successfully completed a 52-week probationary period effective September 2nd, 2026. We have mentor teachers to approve the following mentor teachers for the 26-27 school year: Gabrielle Matson, Nicholas Purifato, Jacqueline Kuhn Hudson, Brianna Akalume, I've heard of that, Rebecca Miller. We have some substitutes to approve. Their rate of pay would be determined by qualification and assignment. We have some, item U is summer regents, exams, proctors, and scorers. That would be Sean Rao, Michelle Rao, Jessica Cerna, and Joshua Piper. And we have volunteers, item B, how appropriate. Approval of the following volunteers for PTO fundraising events and classroom assistance: Chelsea Merriam. For Stories Across Generations, Sandy Krieger and Ann Strohmeyer, Joyce LePen, Linda Colquhoun, Irene Gibson, Jane McDonough, Suzanne Matthews, Ellen Winter, Amelia Sidlowski. And for the trap shooting team, Tom Messina, Joe Airy, Devin Kaiser, and Jason Jaws. And I would like to thank all those volunteers for helping out in whatever situations they are. We really appreciate that. So now I need a motion to approve items B through S and U and V. I'd like to vote on item T, the substitutes separately, please. So for items B through S and U and V, a motion. Ilsa and Sam, all in favor? Thank you. And then we want to do the substitutes. So I would like to do the substitutes by name separately, please. So I need a motion to approve Christine Costa as a substitute. Sam, Ron, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? I am opposed. I don't believe it's in the district's best interest for this bus driver to be driving. Okay, that is passed. Pardon me?
You said, no, we were abstaining.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So Ilsa and Janine are abstaining. I need a motion to approve Emma Briggs as a substitute. Sam? Bill? All in favor? I need a motion to approve Joseph Nero as a substitute. Molly, thank you. Ilsa? All in favor? I need a motion to approve Stuart Kornberg as a substitute. Molly? Bill? All in favor? And a motion to approve Heather Russa as a substitute. Ron? Molly? And a motion to approve Kim Keel.
All in favor, we do all in favor.
Did I miss one?
Yeah, for Heather, we have to do all in favor.
I'm sorry. All in favor of Heather. And a motion to approve Kim Keel. Sam, Molly. All in favor? Thank you very much. We are now on to public forum 2. Is there anybody on the list for public forum 2? No. All right. Is there any additional items to discuss? We got a very nice thank you card from the Philmont Rod and Gun Club and the craft team. They appreciate our help as much as we appreciate what they do. So that was very nice. Anybody else have anything additional to discuss? If not, I would entertain a motion to enter executive session number 2. Sam, Molly, all in favor? Thank you all for attending.
Thanks, everyone.